Hello everyone, I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. Before I get into today's video, I'm going to apologize in advance if the high pass filter on my microphone somehow picks up the rooster that's crawling down the road. It is annoying. It's annoying. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new shades from a company called Feral Cosmetics, and they have recently released, or they're going to be releasing on August 22nd, these 6 new shades to their line. So let's go straight into the review, and as usual, if you're unfamiliar with my structure, I go shade by shade, explain the color, the skin tones that it would suit the best, and then I give the overall review of the formula, the packaging, etc. at the end. So let's get straight into it. So the first one I have here is called Rosé All Day, and this is a rosé nude pink, as the name aptly suggests. This requires about 2 layers for the most opaque finish. That might just be me in the fact that I actually did lip swatches this time, so people can kind of get off my back about that. But my lips are in terrible condition now, so, and this was one of the last ones that I tried on, so my lips were in absolutely horrific condition. This is why I don't like to do lip swatches, because my lips hurt. But I did it for you guys, so pat on the back for me, I guess. I don't know. So going back to the liquid lipstick itself, Rosé All Day, as it is a more neutral shade, this is a versatile shade that suits all skin tones. I do base the skin tone recommendations on both the color spectrum and complementary shades, but also the fact my husband has, he's got much darker skin than me, and he has an olive warm skin tone due to his ethnicity. So I do lip swatches on his arms just to see the contrast and the complementary areas of each lip shade. Something you probably didn't know about my lipstick reviews, but... So the next shade is called Say I Do, and this is definitely a wedding color. What I see a lot of brides, and especially as I worked as a makeup artist, a lot of brides requested very similar colors to this one, so I think the name is very, very fitting. So Say I Do is yet another nude within this collection, and this falls more towards the coral pink with warm undertones. This looks incredible on olive skin, I may say, and I know that from viewing it on my husband's skin, and it also works well with all the skin tones as well, but I definitely highly recommend this for olive skin tones. I think the contrast looks amazing. The next shade is called Page Me, and this is a mid-toned nude pink that definitely pulls hard towards the cool end of the spectrum. I highly recommend these kind of nudes for those of us with cooler skin tones. It can really work well with the cool undertones. That's if you want to play on the cool undertones and kind of show them a little bit more, but also neutral. Neutral undertones to skin can kind of get away with absolutely everything. The next shade is called Mocha Holic, and despite the name suggesting it's more of a mocha brown shade, this is more of a warm tawny brown. This has a slight orange undertone, making it a great shade for olive, neutral, and warm skin tones if you want to play on the undertones of your skin, but it also does look good on cool skin tones. You do have to layer it a bit if you want that total opacity that kind of eliminates a bit more of the orange undertones to this. So that's what I do to wear this particular shade, is just layer it a bit more. So you get more of that true brown color and less of the orange undertones, because it's clearly an undertone in the way that you just keep layering and it just seems to not disappear but be less apparent. So the second last shade is called Sex on the Beach, and this is a bright coral pink with very heavy pigmentation. It is the most pigmented out of this whole collection. A fairly neutral shade, so it works fabulously with all skin tones. With bright shades you can kind of get away with not listening to complementary colors because they're obviously made for statements and, you know, color statements and that stuff. The final shade is what I'm wearing today, and also has my favorite name out of the whole collection. So this is Unicorn Poop, and like I said, I love the name of this. This is a bright orchid purple that definitely pulls to the cool end of the spectrum. With this particular shade, I recommend 2 layers for maximum opacity, just so you get that beautiful dark purple color. Otherwise, it kind of pulls a little bit harder towards magenta. Still an orchid color, but has a slight magenta hint to it if you don't, you know, layer this one a little bit more than some of the other shades. So let's get into the packaging and then the actual product and formula itself. So this is the box, the unit carton that it comes in. It's a satin finish cardboard that's very, very simple. It has their kind of logo on there and then the F on the top. Very, very plain and simple ingredients right there. And I like the fact that the box has the color kind of printed on it and it rounds around to closing the bottom off with the name. And the tube itself is quite simplistic, yet it has this amazing pattern around the top. My husband actually said this reminds him of what's called bullet striations. So during forensic investigations, to match bullet to the chamber it was shot from, they look for specific striations that are made on the bullet because of a certain gun chamber, and each gun chamber is very unique. And he said that the top reminds him of that. So I don't know, take with it what you will, but that's just what he said. But I think it just looks really cool. It's very minimalistic but impactful at the same time. So now onto the formula. As I've already mentioned, this is a vegan and cruelty-free brand, and these are liquid matte lipsticks. Matte finished liquid lipsticks. Gosh, all my words get jumbled up sometimes. They dry down typically, in my experience, within 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how much product has been applied to the lips. This has the scent of this formula is a very mild sweet vanilla kind of smell, almost cupcakey, but it's, yeah, more of a sweet vanilla. I know some of you guys don't like scented cosmetics, but I like it. I think it's kind of cool. It just adds an extra touch as long as it's not too strong and overpowering. They're quite long lasting and they don't flake upon reapplication. There are a couple of brands that I have used, and you know, when you reapply them, it either dries out your lips further or it starts flaking, the bottom layer starts flaking off and it just ends up a hot mess. These, in my experience, don't do that. But one thing I do recommend is that before applying lipstick, you exfoliate your lips and you kind of moisturize them or put a bit of oil on them. Just let it sink in for a little while. Your lips will probably thank you for it. And I typically find that lipstick wears a lot better and lasts longer if I do that. And the packaging, it works well with the brand. It's very sleek, it's simplistic, it's minimalistic, yet it works well. And their packaging is very, very consistent. So I think you guys know what I'm going to say overall is that I enjoy these products, I like them. They do have a lot of nudes, so I would love to see more color from them. More crazy colors, maybe a black would be great. You know, I kind of request that from every brand, so it probably gets annoying, but hey, I like black lipstick. And you know, I spent like 2 years begging Black Moon Cosmetics for a black lipstick, and they came out with one, probably not because of me, but if I ever feel like having delusions of grandeur, I'll just tell myself that it was all because of me. But anyway, back to this. I love this formula. It's not my favorite in the way that Black Moon Cosmetics, my ultimate favorite, but this is pretty darn good. I will obviously continue to use these. I like the shades, I like the names, as I mentioned, and the formula lasts well. So that's the main thing with lipsticks, is that they offer the shades you want and the formula is good. Packaging is always a great bonus. I like the packaging. And for those of us who are cruelty-free, this is a cruelty-free and vegan brand, so that just adds the extra important point, making them quite quite good in my eyes. So overall, I will rate these probably about an 8.5 out of 10, simply because a couple of the shades did need double layering. These shades, there's lots of nudes and there's a lot of universal tones within here, but there's nudes now in the collection that suit every single skin tone, from light to dark, everyone. And also the formula smells great and it works well. There were only a couple of shades that did require double layers or extra product just to achieve full opacity, but that's okay because we make products work that we feel are kind of worth it, and I feel these are worth it, so I will just layer them up. The couple that I did have issues with the opacity. So that is all for this review, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really sorry for all the birds in the neighborhood deciding to chime in and sing for you guys. I mean, it's very lovely of you, but... And just as I say that, galahs start going off. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to do so much sound editing on this. I'm gonna end up sounding like a weird robot if I do too much. So that is all, and I hope you enjoyed this review video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here for every single video. Like this video if you liked this review and you want me to keep doing makeup reviews. Comment down below if there's something you would like to see on this channel and what was your favorite shade. And I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful, fantabulous, stupendous, amazing, wonderful, I think I've already said wonderful, but have a fantabulous day. Love you guys.